Welcome to This Explainer. Look, right now, in this exact moment, you are actually at war. But you're not at war with the world, you're at war with yourself. You're constantly battling that little voice that says, I'll just do it later, the comfort that whispers, hey, this is enough, and the mediocrity that just feels incredibly safe. Every single day, you are either actively sharpening your blade or you're letting it rust. Think about the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius. He didn't write his meditations just to feel inspired. To put that into perspective, he was likely writing these profound thoughts in the mud of literal battlefields, dealing with rowdy troops and terrible camp food, just to remind himself not to collapse under the weight of his own empire. They were survival instructions. And today, we're translating those exact survival instructions into a highly practical, step-by-step daily routine. This explainer is your survival blueprint.
And the Stoic philosopher Epictetus hit the nail right on the head with this. He tells us that true freedom really isn't about how wealthy you are, how perfectly comfortable your life is, or even how safe you feel. No, true freedom is about mastering your own mind against distraction and weakness. Because honestly, if you can't command your own thoughts and emotions, you're just a passenger in your own life. We're going to change that today.
Okay, so let's dive into this. To make these profound concepts instantly actionable, we've organized them into a chronological roadmap for your day. We're looking at the war within yourself, forging your foundation in the morning, mastering the chaos of midday, executing with discipline, and finally, securing inner peace in the evening. Basically, we're taking 10 non-negotiable Stoic practices and turning them into one daily rhythm.
All right, let's start with part 1, morning, forging the foundation, cultivating mind, gratitude, and purpose.
And this routine kicks off the absolute second you wake up. Before you grab your phone, before you scroll the news, and, well, before the outside world can infect your mind, you have to anchor your internal empire. Your mind is literally your most valuable weapon, and if you don't program it first thing in the morning, the world is absolutely going to program it for you. It requires an immediate mindset shift. We've got to actively move away from the reactive victim state of, why is this happening to me, or, I have to go to work today. Instead, we replace that with, what is this trying to teach me, and I get to go to work today. You see the difference? You don't have to wake up early, you get to start another day alive. Shifting from that victim mindset to one of gratitude and control is your first major victory of the day.
So how do we actually do this? Here are 3 super quick, actionable morning exercises to literally forge that mindset. First up, practice negative visualization. The Stoics deliberately imagined loss or difficulty, not to be miserable, but to strengthen themselves. It reminds you that while you can't control the world, you totally control your response to it. Second, right away, name 3 things you are grateful for. This wires your brain for abundance instead of scarcity. And third, revisit your purpose. You don't need a massive lifelong master plan right now. Just identify your why for today and figure out your next meaningful step. Remember, action brings clarity.
Then, before you finally step out the door, use these silent affirmations to lock in that morning foundation. Tell yourself, my mind is my power, and I master it every day. And I live every day with purpose and direction. This is exactly how you walk out into the world with a shield. No outer storm can destroy an inner world that starts off this strong.
Moving right along to part 2, midday, mastering the chaos, navigating emotions, self-control, and silence.
Now, as we transition into the middle of the day, we enter the real battlefield. This is when life tests you. People are going to betray you, they'll judge you, they'll be completely unfair, and things will inevitably go wrong. Midday isn't about avoiding the chaos, because you can't. It's about mastering your self-control. Now, what's really interesting about this concept of emotional distance is how it saves you. Epictetus taught that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Emotional distance is literally the deliberate space you build between an event happening and your reaction to it. It separates the raw emotion from your interpretation. This simple little gap, it is your ultimate superpower. It's exactly what keeps you calm in arguments and totally composed under intense pressure. Let's contrast the typical weak human default with the Stoic response. You know the default, right? Reacting instantly, exploding in anger, firing off an email, shouting back. When you do that, you are just handing your power over to someone else. But the Stoic way? You build that distance. You observe the anger instead of drowning in it, and you stay silent. A Stoic doesn't magically avoid anger. They're human, obviously. They just study it and use it as fuel. True power is staying completely steady when life hits you hard. To master this midday chaos, try these actionable micro-exercises. First, make it a hard rule to just pause before responding to anything that spikes your heart rate. Second, actively observe your emotions. If sadness or frustration pops up, accept it, sure, but don't let it define you. And third, practice intentional moments of silence. In such a loud world, silence is a brilliant strategy. You really don't need to fill every awkward pause with noise. You'll conserve an incredible amount of energy when you stop defending yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you.
Whenever that frustration bubbles up at work or your patience is really being tested, repeat these mental anchors silently. I control my emotions. They don't control me. I am the master of my emotions. I move in silence and let my actions speak. Realize that walking away from drama isn't a weakness. It is absolute power. It just means you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Let your calmness completely confuse the chaos around you.
All right, part 3, action. Executing with discipline. Mastering consistency and patience.
Now we shift our focus to the actual execution of your day. Look, we all have that inner voice begging for just 5 more minutes of rest, or whispering, let's just do it tomorrow. But here's the harsh truth you really need to internalize. Discipline isn't about feelings, it's about decisions. You will never, ever feel ready. You don't hit the gym or do the deep work because you're suddenly hit with motivation. You do it because you said you would. Discipline is actually a profound form of self-love. It's the respect you show yourself by keeping your own promises. Here's how you actually build this muscle. Number 1, set one small, totally non-negotiable daily promise and keep it no matter what. It trains your brain that your commands actually mean something. Number 2, actively say no to instant gratification. Every no to a distraction is a yes to your own strength. And number 3, practice profound patience by detaching from timelines. Life moves at the pace of your growth, not the pace of your impatience. Just trust the slow process of mastery.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that when your motivation inevitably dies, and for sure, it will, you need something to pull you through. Rely on these specific affirmations. I will do what's right, not what's easy. And when you start feeling antsy or impatient about your progress, gently remind yourself, I'll arrive when I'm ready. Every single delay is just refining your character.
And finally, part 4, evening, securing inner peace, reflecting on character and tranquility.
As the sun sets, we move into the evening. This is your time to close out the day, to process everything that went down, and most importantly, to examine who you are when absolutely nobody is watching. This is where we secure our inner peace. Epictetus gives us this brilliant piece of guidance. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. See, your character isn't built in massive public speeches or by fishing for praise. Your true integrity is tested and forged in the small, completely silent decisions you made today. Did you stay honest when a lie would have been way easier? Did you do the right thing even when it was super inconvenient? That is the true essence of Stoic virtue.
So, your evening wind-down routine involves these 3 quiet exercises. First, examine your motives for the day's actions. Did you chase success today just to look powerful to others or to actually be powerful through your own discipline? Second, to keep yourself anchored, explicitly recall one moment from the day that genuinely made you smile. And finally, take a few minutes to meditate or just breathe in pure silence. Stop running from your thoughts and let your inner world finally settle.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate self-audit question that you must ask yourself every single night before you go to sleep. Did I control my actions or did my emotions control me today? If your emotions won today, hey, it happens. Forgive yourself immediately, let it go, and prepare to try again tomorrow. Just having the awareness of this dynamic alone is going to change everything about how you operate.
Anchor the end of your day with these final affirmations. Remind yourself that my character is my legacy. And crucially, the world owes me nothing, but I owe myself peace. Remember, this kind of inner peace isn't found by pretending nothing hurts. It's built through the discipline of staying centered right through the hurt. Your peace truly is your ultimate power.
Because ultimately, you are the architect of your soul. Every single day, through the morning foundation, the midday chaos, the afternoon action, and the evening reflection, you are either building habits that make you incredibly strong or you're conditioning your mind to surrender. There is no neutral ground here. You are constructing the empire of your mind brick by brick, choice by choice.
Which brings us to the final and definitely the most important question. Now that you have this step-by-step blueprint for psychological warfare, what are you going to do with it? Will you sharpen your blade today, or will you let it rust? The choice is entirely yours. Start implementing these exercises immediately,
and let your steady, silent growth become your ultimate strength. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see the empire you build.